Principle 1 says that when consent to an agreement is caused by misrepresentation, the agreement shall be voidable at the option of the party whose consent was so caused. Principle 2 says that misrepresentation is a statement made by one party in regard to a material fact, made for the purpose of inducing the other party to enter into a contract, and actually inducing the latter to enter into the contract. Representation must be a statement of fact, past or present, as distinct from a statement of opinion. Fact says that Hari is a jeweler. One day Rekha approaches him to buy some gold jewelry. Since a wedding is scheduled in 1 month's time, Hari suggests that in his view, gold prices will decrease considerably once the new government is formed in 15 days. Closer to her wedding, after the new government is formed, she goes to buy the jewelry. She she is shocked to know that the price of the gold has increased twice of what it was before, and she had to shell out much more than what she would have done initially. She files a suit against Hari for damages on the ground of misrepresentation and claims that the actual loss caused must be refunded to her. Decide whether statement made by Hari amount to misrepresentation. A. Yes, as Rekha acted on the suggestion made by Hari. B. No, as Hari did not make a statement of fact, much less an inducement for Rekha to postpone her purchasing. C. No, as no contract was signed between Hari and Rekha. D. Yes, as Rekha suffered losses because of acting on the representation made by Hari. Here the correct answer would be B. The statement made by Hari was merely his opinion that when the new government will come in power, there might be chances that the price of gold may go low. But his statement, which does not even amount to representation, would not constitute a misrepresentation.